A young Tibetan, Jampa Yeshi, set himself on fire on Monday. He died in hospital.
These people have been pushed to the edge by the wrong policies of the Chinese government. So, be it in the sense of assimilation of the nationalities, with bringing a lot of Chinese people inside.
Why are we silent when Tibet needs our voices? Whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world.
Whereas disregard and contempt for human rights resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind. Article 5. No one shall be subjected to torture
Or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment.
Article 19. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. Everyone has the right to freedom
of thought, conscience, and religion.
and freedoms set forth
herein.
游行示威，结果演变成暴力冲突。
They started a peaceful demonstration. They were blocked by the People's Armed Police. Later on, a scuffle started between the police and the monks. And eventually, they were joined by a bystander.
混乱中，愤怒群众动手捣毁店面，游行。
We do not know how many were shot, how many are injured, how many are arrested.
Confirmed, account they killed at least 30 or 70 people, Tibetans, only because they were doing marching peacefully.
We do not know how many were shot, how many are injured, how many are arrested.
There's a flame. We're out for lunch at a restaurant and heard an explosion, and then three Chinese tanks rolled down the road, followed by a whole bunch of army officers that closed off the street. Today is the 14th of March. I'm in Lhasa, and a riot has just broken out. The city is aflame. We're out for lunch at a restaurant and heard an explosion, and then three Chinese tanks rolled down the road, followed by a whole bunch of army officers that closed off the street. So we started walking back to our hotel. They just met a bunch of Tibetan people rioting, turning over cars and setting them on fire, breaking into Chinese shops. It's absolute mayhem on the street.
The government blamed refugees abroad and Tibet's exiled spiritual leader.
The Chinese border police come up. They take aim with their high-powered rifles, and they fire a bullet. And this young nun is shot through the stomach. And as you see, she falls in the snow.
I asked what happened to Kelsang. They said she was shot in the leg, but we have to keep going.
And they watch as the Chinese guards go to pick the body up. They go through papers. They don't know what to do. A short time after, they take the body and they throw it into a ravine.
30 kilometers away from base camp, in a Chinese jail, the police demanded that Jamyang identify Kelsang Namtso's body.
The Chinese asked, who was the dead nun? They did warn me the body stank. She was naked and covered with canvas.
The Chinese border police turned their attention to Kelsang Namtso's body that lay freezing in the snow.
The way they checked the body was basically just go and kick it. And they picked up what we could now find out was a bag, because we could see when they came back.
The interrogating officer pointed to the body and demanded to know, what is her name? Where is she from? How old is she? Tell us the names of all her friends. I just said, I don't know anything.
However, Disgashi Lotang Gongchok was rarely heard to quote Buddhist scriptures. Instead, he spent most of his time talking about self-immolation, an act that, so he said, made someone a hero. Losang Gongchok claimed to have contacts in India. The foreign media, he said, would turn anyone who committed self-immolation into a hero. Hearing this repeatedly, Lotang Tsedru was convinced, and so he killed himself in a Naba street. 12 days later, on March the 28th, 2012, another self-immolation occurred, also in Naba. This time it involved a monk named Tsinam from an isolated monastery in the Jaro region. He was dead before rescuers could reach him.